Legends of Belthasurian, The Rise of the Fellowship. Chapter 5, Journey to Fliora. For days they climbed eastward, where the land rose into towering mountains wreathed in mist. The air grew cold, the trees grew sparse, the stars sharper in the thin sky. Dawn broke over the mountain realm of Fliora, snow-crowned peaks painted in gold and crimson. Beneath those peaks, the dwarves stirred, forges roaring, hammers striking, deep echoing halls carved from the bones of the earth. Chachinor, wrapped in her cloak, shivered beside Fluffy Bear's warm side. "Do you think the dwarves will help us?" she asked quietly. Fluffy Bear's voice rumbled low. "If they still remember the old pacts." "Yes, but their hearts grow hard as their stone halls." At last they reached the gates of Fliora, massive iron doors, carved into the mountain face, guarded by dwarves in crimson armor. The sigil of a hammer crossed with a crown shone upon their breastplates. It was said Fliora's halls were older than the star's reflection upon the world. Tunnels and bridges woven through crystal veins and molten hearts, forged by dwarves whose ancestors had shaped the world's first blades. A voice thundered from above. "Who dares approach the halls of Queen Laviette?" Yandalf stepped forward, her staff glowing faintly. "Friends, seekers of alliance, tell your queen, the Fellowship of Light stands at her gates." Moments later, the gates groaned open, revealing a kingdom of wonders. Endless tunnels of gold and crystal, forges blazing, with blue flame, hammers ringing like song. Upon a throne of carved sapphire sat Queen Laviette, her armor etched with runes, her eyes sharp as diamonds. She rose when Yandalf approached. "Yandalf the Wise," she said, "it has been long since the stars brought you here." "Too long," Yandalf replied. "The shadow rises, my queen. The underworld stirs once more. Queen Hurlda's armies spread beneath the earth, seeking to breach your western gates. Prince Rulgorn is taken. Hurlda seeks dominion over all realms. If Belthasurian falls, so too shall Fliora. We ask your aid." The hall murmured, dwarves shifting, voices low and wary. Laviette's gaze stayed fixed on Yandalf. Her eyes drifted over the group. Bosman, standing proud. Fluffy Bear, solemn. Snowball, defiant. Chachinor, nervous but brave. "You come asking for aid in war," she said, at last. "Yet war costs blood, and the dwarves have paid enough of that." "And you would march into the Fire Mountains?" she asked. "We will," said Bosman, "even if none return." Fluffy Bear stepped forward, his deep growl echoing, "Queen Hurlda took everything from me, my home, my kin, my cubs. If she is not stopped, she will come for yours. I fight not for vengeance, but for balance." Captain Snowball limped ahead, small frame, straight and proud. "I've lost my power, my wings of light, but I have not lost my will. We fight because the world still breathes. Isn't that reason enough?" Silence fell. Then Bosman spoke, strong, clear, resolute. "Your Majesty, your forges burn with the fire of the earth. If that fire dies, so will the song of your people. We ask not for charity, but for unity." Laviette studied them, long and hard. The hall held its breath. Finally, she rose, hammer in hand. She struck the hilt of her axe upon the floor. "Then the dwarves of Fliora shall march beside you. The Queen of Stone answers the call of light." The hall erupted. Cheers rolled like thunder through the mountains. Hammers striking shields, voices chanting, deep harmony echoing through stone corridors. The Fellowship had found their army. Mankey clapped Chachinor on the shoulder. "See? Not so bad, after all." Chachinor smiled faintly. "Only one problem now." "What's that?" Snowball asked. She looked toward the distant volcano peaks, where smoke rose in the darkening sky. "We actually have to go there." And so the Fellowship, now joined by the dwarves of Fliora, prepared for their descent into Shadow, the gathering storm. As the alliance took form, Yandalf looked to the sky beyond the mountain gates. Clouds churning like smoke, the sun hidden behind a crimson haze. She felt it again, that faint flicker of warmth from far below, beneath the molten roots of the world. "Suzorg," she whispered, "you are still there." Bosman came beside her. Mankey perched on her arm. "We go to war, don't we?" Yandalf's whiskers twitched. "Aye, but not all wars are won by blade." The wizard turned her eyes to the horizon, where dark shapes moved, the first tendrils of the underworld's army, stretching toward the mortal world like claws of shadow. "The mountain trembles," said Fluffy Bear, sniffing the air. "She knows. We come." "Then let her tremble," Captain Snowball muttered, flexing his paw. "For once, let evil be afraid." The path to fire. By dusk, the Fellowship and the dwarves began their march. Across high ridges of Fliora they went, through tunnels glowing with forge light, across bridges of glass and stone, past waterfalls frozen mid-fall in the eternal chill. Princess Chachinor walked close to Yandalf, shivering but smiling. I never thought I'd see mountains so tall. And soon, said the wizard softly, you shall see fire that touches the stars. Far below in the molten caverns of the underworld, Suzorg stirred, her body broken, but her soul burned brighter than ever. In her hand, she clutched a fragment of light, the last remnant of her old self. I will not die, her monster, she whispered. I will rise, her ruin. As the fellowship descended from the mountains, thunder rolled across the horizon. The world held its breath, and in the heart of the underworld, Queen Herlda smiled. So the lost flame still flickers, she murmured. Good. Let her come home to die.